A new way. What we need right now is a new way of seeing the world. We need new approaches to life's challenges. We need tools for intentional and conscious living and a framework for deciding what really matters to us, so we can move on from the constant desire for more, better, best. We need to find ways to slow down, so life does not rush right past us. We need to start noticing more beauty to lift our spirits and keep us inspired. We need to give ourselves permission to let go of judgment and the endless pursuit of perfection. And we need to start seeing each other, and ourselves, for the perfectly imperfect treasures that we are. All this, that we so desperately need, can be found in the philosophy of Wabi Sabi. Not because it solves the surface problems, but because it can fundamentally shift the way we see life itself. Wabi Sabi teaches us to be content with less, in a way that feels like more, less stuff, more soul. Less hustle, more ease. Less chaos, more calm. Less mass consumption, more unique creation. Less complexity, more clarity. Less judgment, more forgiveness. Less bravado, more truth. Less resistance, more resilience. Less control, more surrender. Less head, more heart. Wabi Sabi represents a precious cache of wisdom that values tranquility, harmony, beauty, and imperfection, and can strengthen our resilience in the face of modern ills. Letting go of what you think should be does not mean giving up on what could be. Importantly, accepting imperfection doesn't mean having to lower standards or drop out of life. It means not judging yourself for being who you are, perfectly imperfect, at once uniquely you and just like the rest of us. Put simply, Wabi Sabi gives you permission to be yourself. It encourages you to do your best but not make yourself ill in pursuit of an unattainable goal of perfection. It gently motions you to relax, slow down and enjoy your life. And it shows you that beauty can be found in the most unlikely of places, making every day a doorway to delight. Given Japan's mountainous nature, with forests, fields and agricultural land covering some 80% of the country, it's no surprise that the nation's urban areas are crowded. Tokyo has a population of over 13 million, with more than 6,000 people per square kilometer. As a result, the Japanese have become masters of small space architecture and styling. Personal space is limited and, in recent years, clutter has become as much of a challenge for Japanese people as it has for many of us in other nations. Perhaps this is why they have become so adept at organization and storage, why Muji, literally, no label, is a high street favorite and why Marie Kondo is a household name. However, don't be fooled into thinking that most Japanese people now live in tatami-matted rooms devoid of stuff. They don't. While the overall concept of minimalism has had a transformative impact for many, it can end up being another kind of perfection. It's one more opportunity to beat yourself up for not doing something right, and frankly, it's exhausting. Perhaps you're like me. You like the philosophy of minimalism and have entertained dreams of a perfectly tidy home, but found that disciplined minimalism doesn't really work for you because you have children, pets, a hectic lifestyle, a weird fetish for antique teapots. More books than your local library or some other reason that makes you run from perfectly organized sock drawers. Or perhaps you rent and are limited in terms of how you are allowed to alter your living space. Or maybe you are on a tight budget and think that a welcoming home is for people with more disposable income. Or maybe you are just busy, and it feels like such an effort to go through everything. If any of this sounds familiar, the alternative, Soulful Simplicity, might just be for you. Soulful Simplicity is my name for decluttering and styling your home with love, without making it clinically minimal or trying too hard. It's a way of organizing and personalizing your space, which makes your home welcoming and beautiful, while still feeling lived in. A Wabi Sabi lens can inspire us to embrace soulful simplicity and treasure what we already have. There is a lovely phrase in Japanese, Igakochi Geo. This literally means being here heart place good, and it is used to describe a feeling of comfort, of feeling at home. I like to think of it as a place for a happy heart. That's what we want to create with Soulful Simplicity. Your home, your space. The spaces in which we live influence the way in which we live, and how we feel as we go about our daily lives. If we want to live differently, changing our environment, and the details of our living spaces, can play a major role in making a shift. Our homes can be sanctuaries, gathering places, repositories of love and laughter, solitude and rest. They can be grounding, comforting, inspiring and relaxing. Our homes are where our stories are written, and they have the potential to enhance our experience of the everyday. A Wabi Sabi, inspired home, lived in, loved and never quite finished. The beauty of Soulful Simplicity is that it can help us make any dwelling, regardless of size or budget, a lovely place to be. This comes as a relief to those of us who swoon over design magazines and lose hours on Pinterest and Instagram, but have the niggling feeling that our homes will never quite look like that. Wabi Sabi reminds us that they are not supposed to look like that. Homes are for living in, and living is not a perfectly tidy affair. The good news is that the chaos of real life, edited a little, can reveal a lot. Most of us already have the makings of a welcoming space. With just a little time and attention, your home can become a sanctuary reflecting what really matters to you. Taking inspiration from the traditional tea room, the embodiment of Wabi Sabi, we can envision a clean, simple, uncluttered space. It's about deciding what to retain and what to release, what to show and what to store, what to tinker with and what to treasure. You don't need to wait for the perfect time, when you have the money to redecorate, when your children have left home or when you finally have time to sort every drawer and cupboard. You can begin today, right where you are. This is not a set of rules, it's a set of ideas and questions for you to consider in order to do it your way. The emotional connection. The truth is many of us have houses filled with clutter, even though we don't like it. We buy stuff when we don't need it. We tell ourselves we really should get everything in order, and then we switch on the TV instead. Over the years in my work with people trying to make major life changes, decluttering has always been a significant part of their journey. As they begin to release more and more stuff, they begin to notice the releasing of negative thought patterns, feelings of insufficiency, allegiances to busyness, attachments to past versions of themselves and desires for a life that is not connected to who they are or what they really value. This is where Wabi Sabi really comes in. Soulful simplicity makes for contented sufficiency. When you realize you are perfectly imperfect just as you are, you have less need for stuff to boost your self-image. Ultimately, soulful simplicity in your home is about you and the experience you want to create for yourself, your family and your friends. This is about tuning into what you love and making space for authentic inspiration. It's about what pulls you in. It's about quality, depth and choice. And it's about putting your judgment to one side, and focusing on what you can do with what you already have. A Wabi Sabi, inspired home is a restful space that welcomes guests and nourishes family life. It's a place for treasured things that carry love and evoke memories, not just new things bought on impulse. There is no right or wrong. It's unpretentious styling, done in a perfectly imperfect way.